together.
Right down the middle. You got it. Uh-oh. Good job.
See what you can do, man.
Wait.
That's a strike right there.
Connect with family and friends. Go bowling.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic, real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Well, welcome back to the Turn 3 Racing Network, or if you're just tuning on in, where the heck have you been? As we welcome you in to the American Sim Racing Club's Snowball Derby Weekend presented by Postma Flooring, and right now we are getting ready to get underway for tonight's LaPlante Racing Products Snowflake 100 presented by LaPlante Racing Products. LaPlante Racing Products has the scaphoid wrist injuries leading the coupling device. Minimize the impacts from frontal collisions that can violently thrash the steering wheel column, leading to injuries. You can help support LaPlante Racing Products by visiting their website today at LaPlanteRacingProducts.com. Postma Flooring, locally owned flooring covering company located in Fruitport, Michigan. At Postma Flooring, you can find all of your flooring covering needs, from new installations, repairs, and general service. Specializing in luxury vinyl plank and luxury tile flooring, there is no task too big or too small for the masters at Postma Flooring. Serving the greater Lower Michigan area, set up an appointment today by calling 616-818-8980. Hoosier Racing Tires is a proud sponsor of the American Sim Racing Club as the Pole and Last Chance Qualifying Awards. Hoosier Racing Tires is the largest racing tire manufacturer in the world. They fuel passion, pride, and success with our tires designed for champions. And Flagman Graphics is the proud presenting sponsor of the Best Appearing Paint Scheme Award for the 2026 American Sim Racing Club Snowball Derby Weekend. Flagman Graphics specializes in helping to make racers of the Northeast look phenomenal on the racetrack with wraps and graphic design. And Roger, I believe you know who won Best Appearing Car for the weekend. And he is in our server right now out there on the racetrack. And why don't you make that announcement?
How about it? The Flagman Graphics best dressed, if you will, here tonight. Car number 7, Daryl Dillon out there. He was in, well, our last chance qualifier a little bit ago. Good thing he got a backup car out here, because this graphic deserved to be seen by all you drivers and fans out there. A clean, smooth looking wrap here tonight, picking up that award. So one award already this weekend has been handed out.
One handed out as we get ready to go with the LaPlante Racing Products Snowflake 100. And these cars, well, they might look pretty similar to what we saw a little bit earlier on. The horsepower has been knocked down. And right now, 34 drivers signed in here tonight. 24 drivers, though, will make the starting grid. And how will that happen? Well, this is how the breakdown looks for the LaPlante Racing Products Snowflake 100. We are going to time trial cars. Top 12 will lock in. They don't have to worry about seeing the racetrack till a little bit later this evening. Everyone else, that would mean 24 cars, would head over to the last chance qualifier. We'll lock half of them in to make our 24 car starting field for the 100 lap main event, our first paying event of the evening. If you were with us a little bit earlier on, we saw a very exciting Snowball Derby qualifying along with the last chance qualifier. Roger, 30 cars will start tomorrow night. We will start the broadcast at 7:30 for that 300-lap main event presented by Post McLaurin. But it's all about tonight with the LaPlante Racing Products Snowflake 100 laps of racing coming up here. We got to lock the field in first, and we will do that just in a few moments. But it's down. We're going to hand out some hardware and some card hold cash here tonight in the Snowflake 100. What do you think our viewers out there can expect to see?
If it's anything like what we saw in not only the qualifying session a little bit earlier here tonight from the Five Flag Speedway, but also that last chance qualifier, 75 laps for that last chance qualifier, and it came down to a late race restart, some rubbing. Here tonight, though, this is a main event once we get there through the qualifying session. We're obviously in this practice session right now, so we got practice to finish up, qualifying to finish up the LCQ. But once we get to that feature event, 100 laps here tonight for these drivers, and I expect a lot of two-wide racing, maybe some late race bumping and running, but out at the end of it, you just never know. Like Forrest Gump said, life is like a box of chocolates. You just never know what you're going to get until, well, you eat the box of chocolates and you became the fat lady and you sang at the end of the race, and somebody's standing in victory lane going, I did it. I did it. I'm the first winner of the big event.
You don't want me singing, so I won't be singing there, but you are absolutely correct. And that's going to be a momentum swing into tomorrow night. A lot of these drivers pulling double duty. 100 laps under race conditions could really mean a lot for the Snowball Derby. And that's why we see them have, running these double digits, right? Or these double events. These drivers really need to take and figure out how to get in position to win tomorrow night. Well, tonight though, Roger, there's no extra tires. It's 100 laps. You have what you have. You got to take care of that equipment. Can it be done? We know Five Flags is really one of those racetracks that really eats the tires. These drivers are going to have to really take care of their equipment.
Yeah, taking care of your equipment is going to be one of the number one things you're going to do here tonight once you get locked into that feature event. The question is, how early do you go? How early do you push? You got to stay out of trouble. We saw Nick Worry in the last race. He lost the hood. And then late in that one, the motor started to lay down. He was not able to get in via the top 5 in the last chance qualifier, and it all was because of the damage he had sustained from an earlier wreck in the evening. He was in a transfer spot with under 10 laps to go, and the damage came back to bite him.
It absolutely did. And tonight, though, $145 total purse. Top 10 drivers will get at least their entry fee back for entering into the LaPlante Racing Products 100, the Snowflake, here tonight. So not just bragging rights and momentum, Roger, but some cold hard cash on the line as well. And we all know what happens when you put some money up, when you strap these drivers in and strap those helmets. The circulation to the brain sometimes just goes away.
I have a brain, so I can't talk about the circulation, but I mean, I'll take your word on it. Because, you give me some money and, I got this nice fancy iRacing.com platform, which, you got to buy a little more content. I can tell you, hey, Al, when we're done with this, maybe those dirt modifieds, they're always calling my name.
Absolutely. Right now, we're getting ready to go. Qualifying is about to get underway. They're going to do a 5-minute quick session. The top 12 drivers will lock themselves in to the main event. Then we will know who our first 12 are and who's going to have to come from that last chance qualifier presented by Hoosier Racing Tires. Well, Roger, qualifying ever so important, a little bit different than what we saw with the Snowball Derby. These drivers are going to have the track all to their lonesome. They're not going to be able to study and see what the other drivers are doing. They're just going to be able to see, as we've already got a number of drivers coming out on the racetrack. The first one up, the 97 of Riley Duncan.
Yeah, this more of a traditional qualifying here for these drivers. This is what they typically see week in and week out. It was nice, though, to give each driver a little bit of that air time, if you will, to get their car shown for the Snowball Derby. But now it's down to business. It is race time. Well, qualifying time, if you will, but race time for a lot of these drivers.
That it is, and it is going to be very important here for these drivers to get a good lap. And Andrew Payne in the 93 car, he'll jump to the top of the board early on in Snowflake qualifying. Now Brett Hahn to the top of the board. Zach Nichols, and it is going to be fast and furious here. Remember, top 12 cars will lock in right now. Murray in the 72. Sitting there, that would be Aiden. Now Chuck Darling, Jaden Kratacci going to jump into that. Now Gawker sitting in 10th. As we take a look here at your top 12 cars, Durgan, Caleb Durgan, a driver from the North Country, Northeast, sitting there, was on the hot seat. And then, like I said, it's going to really get flip-flop back and forth really quick. Gawker on that hot seat with a, look how tight that field of qualifying is, Roger. Less than a tenth of a second separating the pole from 12th.
Yeah, everybody back and forth, but most drivers already having themselves a qualifying effort. A couple drivers just finishing up here real quick. Zach Nichols laying down the fast time here. A 16.49 second lap, actually timed with Hayden Swank, but the edge goes just ever so slightly. Once you break down the .0000001s, it goes to Zach Nichols. So it looks like Nichols, Swank, Kratacci, the top three drivers here, with, I believe, one of them just finishing up here. Nick Fleury back there in 32nd place qualified. That team had a lot of thrashing to do on their machine earlier. We talked about him and his tribulations that he went through, trial and tribulations for that last chance qualifier. But Al, I believe your top 12 looks locked in.
Yeah, Zach Nichols going to lead us to the green flag. He'll grab the $10 pole award for Zach Nichols. Hayden Swank, Jaden Kratacci, Handley. Remember, he had a tough break there in the Snowball Derby qualifier. He's going to bounce back with a 4th place qualifying. Steve Hoffman will finish 5th. Duncan, Hahn, Payne, Atkins, McLaren, Axum, and Gawker, your top 12 that are going to move on in tonight's race. Everyone else, they're going to have to go to the last chance qualifier.
And we saw how the last chance qualifier went just a little while ago, Al. I expect this one to be hot, heavy, and pretty fast.
I agree with you 100%, Roger, as the field...
I can't remember a time you haven't agreed with me, Al.
Well, there was that one time.
Well, we don't talk about that one time.
Yeah, no, we try to keep it civil around here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. And, Roger, I will say it is such a pleasure to get back working here with you. We've been busy and life and all that stuff, but now we get ready to come back here full circle, working together on such a great event. I mean, the amount of drivers and the effort that the American Sim Racing Club has put in is great. But this is your starting lineup. Starting on the pole will be car number 15. That is Joe West. Outside of him, and the car number 17, it is Caleb Durgan. Starting on the inside, row number 2 will be Preston Bors, and outside of him will be Ollie Ferguson in car number 34. Chuck Darling and Case James will make up row number 3, and row number 4, Aiden Murray and Ty Leclerc. Starting on the inside, row number 5 in the 9th starting spot will be Nathan Lawrence in car 97, and outside of him, the number 41 of TJ Hassan.
Back into the 11th starting spot, car number 16 here tonight. That'll be Noah Bosher. And then this driver, car 00. We saw him a little bit earlier, Rob Dentons. And back into the 13th spot, it's the DP number 38, David Patton. He is here tonight. He'll start 13th. Scott Negus, car number 55, hailing from north of the border. He is going to have to pick up a few spots here to lock himself in. It's the 711, starting back into the 15th spot, car number 711 of Eric Hahn. Then it's the driver out of Maryland, driving the Dillon Motorsports number 52. That'll be Jeff Dillon. Connor Jones in car number 22. He'll roll from the 17th starting spot here tonight. And, of course, the best dressed award here tonight goes going to car number 7. That is Daryl Dilling. He will start back there into the 18th position. It's the Postma flooring number 8 of Zachary Postma. He will start into the 19th starting spot. 20th here tonight, that is going to go to car number 25 of Nick Fleury. 21st starting spot out of New York, driving car number 88, Michael Deitz. And then that's the Cold Beer Cameras, number 28 of Zach Coyer. Coyer starting shotgun to the field. He has a lot of work to do from the 22nd starting spot. That's your starting lineup here tonight for your last chance qualifier for the Snowflake 100.
22 drivers, 10 of them will find themselves in the box at the end of this 25 lap last chance qualifier. Roger, 12 of them are going to try to move on into the night's A main, the main event, the LaPlante Racing Products Snowflake 100. But we have to get through the Hoosier Racing Tire last chance qualifier. 25 laps is the distance, is the field, getting some heat in these tires. We are looking ready to go racing here tonight.
Couple drivers to keep an eye on here coming from deep in the field. You're going to have Nick Fleury starting back there deep. You're going to have Jeff Dillon also back there. Negus running mid-pack. Hassan, Murray. You got a lot of drivers. Darling starting inside the transfer positions. Can he stay there? There's drivers, Al, through this field. Every one of them has a resume that says, I should go to the big dance. But it all looks good on paper. We got to race it out.
Yeah, we got to look as we look down from high above with the Flagman graphics. Green flag is up. We're underway with our last chance qualifier. They work down here through turns 1 and 2. It'll be the 15 rolling out to the early race lead.
Trouble at the mid-pack, Al. Couple cars going around. Hassan going around the 55 of Scott Negus going around. Negus going to be able to roll away, but it does look like the TJ Hassan entry has the most damage out of the two vehicles.
Yeah, let's take a look back here real quick. Roger, the truck says they have it. Let's see what happened. It looks like he just got turned at the start of this one. Negus going to go around, and Zach Coyer just gets a little bit of damage. That 41 able to roll away, but not how you want to start the last chance qualifier.
Yeah, we saw how damage really affected some of these drivers in the last portion, the last chance qualifier we had here earlier at the Five Flags Speedway with Nick Fleury having some issues. Now Coyer is going to have some issues. Nega's going to have some issues. Hassan's going to have some issues. So we'll see how those drivers fare here as we officially only have one lap here tonight in the last chance qualifier completed.
This is a 25-lap contest. The caution laps will not count, but there is also a time limit that these drivers have to keep in their mind. But tough.
Yeah, that time limit might come in before the laps. Then what happens?
Well, we're not really sure what happens. I think we race till the clock is done, but I got faith in them. We know a lot on the line here. You got to be in the big dance to even attempt to get your entry fee back. That's what they're racing for. Top 10 drivers in the Snowflake. We'll at least get that back. But right now, Roger, good start for West and Durgan up at the front of this one as they sit behind the iRacing.com pace truck. Just one lap will be completed when the lights go out around. The field gets doubled up. And just like that, that Chevy Silverado's electrical wires faltering.
They only hit the switch, Al. Come on now. You know that they work perfectly fine. They're flawless. I got one in the driveway. It gets me back and forth to work. Hold on. Let me find some wood. But hey, we're doubling them back up, ready to go west to the inside, Durgan to the outside. That is your front row. And then it's going to be, well, a green flag. How about that? A quick green flag actually by our flagman that time.
Yeah, he was ready to throw the green flag as we are underway down into the corner here, and timing and scoring will take and get itself right as we're side by side for the race lead. Durgan working the outside in that 17 car, trying to make something happen as West leads it a little bit. We'll hear some scraping going on as we watch the battle of the race lead. Here comes Boers to the inside of Durgan, trying to take that number 2 spot. Someone tell them they just got to be inside the top 12 with 22 laps to go. Every spot, though, worth a spot on the grid, and they know that as they still run 2x2. Look at the great racing here in the Last Chance Qualifier presented by Hoosier for the LaPlante Racing Products Snowflake 100. West out front, Durgan still holding the court on that outside. Starting to roll back on that race leader.
Yeah, that's the battle for the race lead, but the real battle, Al, is back here for that 12th position. Right now, Rob is on the hot seat in that 00, and here comes Connor Jones down to the inside. He will take the 88 to the inside, see if he can take the spot away, and he will as contact Rob to the outside wall. He's going to try to get back to Jones's tail tank. Not able to happen. Connor Jones walks through the door. He is now in the 12th and final transfer spot.
At the R1 car working the extreme high side. I believe that's Postma in the 8 car. He's on the outside of Nick Fleury. Fleury did not have the qualifying effort that he needed. Is Donaldson's going to go around. Rob Donaldson in the 00 goes around and has heavy right side damage to the 00, shaking at cars. He goes around off of turn number 4, that was.
Chain reaction down in turns 3 and 4. You know, the accordion crinkle gonna get that 00.
And that's a sharp looking race car.
It's almost as sharp as you, Al.
Well, I think it's sharper. It looks like a little bit of a contact between himself and Jones, and around he went. I believe Dylan nowhere to go, gets into the left rear quarter panel, sends him around. When these caution flags not counting, these drivers coming down pit road with some damage, good time to get some extended damage by their crews fixed as we watch the 7-11 of Eric Hahn. Hahn on pit road.
Boyer also down there trying to get the cold beer cameras 13 fixed. It looks like he's down and away. He will rejoin the back of the field.
It's not been his night, has it?
Well, it's a night.
It is a night, and I'm sure there's some cold beer in his future.
Well, once we're done with this, Al, we might have to go down there and break into that cooler.
That is true. And he'll be happy to see us. How about all of our? How about all the fans on YouTube chiming in here? We got Riley Duncan. He'll be in the Snowflake 100 coming up a little bit later. We got Pete Dillon out there. Good to see Kenneth out there. Thank you guys for tuning on in. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. Let these drivers know you appreciate their efforts. Hey, Roger Muth in the booth says hi.
Oh, look at that guy. Who would have thunk he'd be here?
Yeah, I dragged him out of retirement.
Pretty much. I had to dust the old microphone off. Surprised it still works. Check. 1, 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's here. Everybody, unfortunately, is having to cover their ears when I talk.
Nope. All right, lights are off on the iRacing.com pace truck. We are going to be headed into the LaPlante Racing Products restart zone. As the field rolls in there, green flag is up. Oh, stack up in the middle of the field. So far, we keep it clean and green. And it looks like a restart. Oh, there's trouble at the start of this one. Borders goes around. Big trouble. Big wreck off of turn number 2. One car violently flipping up and over. That's Dylan's number 7. And a lot of torn up race cars. They're in a tough break for the 29 of Boers. He was sitting inside the top 3, Roger, and had left front damage extremely broken on that 29 car.
Yeah, that one's going to leave a mark. I don't think that one's going to track the way he wants here tonight. It looks terminal to me, but we will see if his crew can put some lick and stick Bondo and Band-Aids on that and get him back out there onto the raceway. It does look like the 17 of Caleb Durgan is getting assessed a penalty. He will drop to the tail of the field.
Top of the field there. The good news or bad news, depending on how you look at it, depends on how many cars get back out there. It's going to drop him to the 17th position. He's only got to make it back to the top 12 to make it into the night's main event, but the night just got a little bit harder.
You say only like that's an easy task with these drivers out there on the speedway.
It is not an easy task, but just looking at some of the wounded cars in front of them. But nothing's ever easy with the American Sim Racing Club. This competition is some of the fiercest competition you'll see. 34 of Ollie looking like he was dropping back there in that 34 car. Well, up front, it is Joseph West and Case James up at the front of this one as yellow lights are out. What do you think, Roger?
I'm looking to see. Timing and scoring still catching up here. I see Wes and James on the front row here. So what do I think? I think we're going back racing here in the last chance qualifier. We'll come back this time. We will have 16 laps remaining as the green flag is back out here, and another great start by Joseph West. James not able to hold the bottom side. Here comes Noah. He will charge now into P number 2. He'll put Case James now trying to get or hold on to that third spot as Nathan Lawrence is right there.
Boucher in the number 2 spot, the 21 of James Lawrence and Darling, your top 5. A little bit deeper, Zach Coyer into the 9th spot. We were just talking about how his night was going a little bit deeper behind him. Jeff Dillon and Eric Hahn side by side. As a 2x2 battle works here. The 88 of Jones starting to make his way back up through the field as well. 14 laps to go in the LaPlante Racing Products Hoosier Last Chance qualifying event here for the Snowflake 100. 72 working down to the inside. Aiden Murray, that's for the 9th position. Jones in that 12th and final transfer spot. You see him on the right side of your screen in that 88 car. That is the car that is on the hot seat, and he's got Eric Hahn trying to work his way there, and Caleb Durgan working the outside all into the 14th spot as he works around Michael Deitch.
Yeah, the 17 of Caleb Durgan, one of those drivers you said, Al, out of the, we'll call it the Northeast country, I guess, if you will, here. New York driver. Used to run of those dirt modified, so he's not afraid to hang it out and try and go high and wide around the outside. Got to pick up a couple of contact, and around goes the 7-Eleven. Hahn going to go around. That's Eric Hahn in the 7-Eleven. A couple drivers coming in there. Postma just going to miss the spinning 7-Eleven.
And Ollie Ferguson went around as well in the 34 car, and we will see what happens there as Eric Hahn goes around, and we'll go on board with him. Our premier setup on board. You see Durgan on the outside, and not sure if there was contact there or not, Kelly, but the 7-Eleven goes down into the inside wall. We'll see if we can take a better look at that. Tough break for the 7-Eleven of Hahn. Up off the corner, maybe a slight contact. Hard to tell from our vantage point here in the Turn 3 Racing Network booth, but Hahn and Ferguson go around to bring out our latest yellow flag, our 4th one of the Last Chance qualifier, presented by Hoosier Racing Tires. Here tonight, the proud sponsor of the American Sim Racing Club, along with being our Last Chance and Pole Award sponsors. We thank them for that. They fuel passion, pride, and success with our tires designed for champions.
Wow, we talked about it earlier, that time that we have, a 30-minute heat race, last chance qualifier, if you will, We are halfway through that, and we have half the laps in here in this last chance qualifier. Over, under.
I think we're going to get it in. I think we're going to get it in.
I like the way you think, my man, because we should be coming back here to the stripe. We're going to get the 1 lap to go back to Green Flag Racing as they hit the switch on that Chevy Silverado, so the lights do go out. So we're getting ready to go back racing here to be the number 15 of West to the inside. Noah Boucher to the outside there, then it's James. And I believe that is the 97. Yep, that is Nathan Lawrence right there. So those are your top 4 drivers as we get ready to come back here after the 4th caution flag here of the evening from the 5 Flag Speedway. Green flag back into the air, and a good start there by the race leader of Joseph West. He'll lead us into turn number 1 right down around the bottom side.
Right there, and Boucher going to work into that number 2 spot. James and Lawrence, your top 4. They get all single filed, and it's back there. Chuck Darling, he's battling the 33 of Leclerc on the outside. Leclerc, we're trying to make it on the outside work, is the 25 car there, and the yellow flag comes out once again. And not sure where it is.
I think the 7-Eleven here possibly being involved with this one.
Take a look and see.
Going around after a little contact.
Him and Rob Donaldson in that back bumper with no spoiler. That car's got to be evil to try to manhandle out there, Roger.
Yeah, I have a hard enough time if we put the old whale tail wing on the back and drive around here at barely 50 miles an hour. These drivers 117 down into the corner, and then you got to hold on to it. And no spoiler, no downforce, and yeah, not going to be something that works out.
Well, I know our boss man, Dave in the cave, he took the rental keys away from you after you've wrecked how many rental cars?
Well, we're not allowed to rent any more cars on the company card.
Right. I don't understand it. I mean, you only wrecked 22.
I paid for them. Well, somebody paid for them.
Somebody paid for them.
I can tell you our premium is not cheap anymore.
Tell you, West out front. Boucher runs in second. James, Lawrence, and Darling, your top 5. Tyler Leclerc runs in spot number 6. Nick Fleury up to the 7th spot. That's a plus 13 gain for the driver of the 25. Then it is Aiden Murray in 8th. Zach Coyer runs 9th. Connor Jones 10th. Jeff Dillon and Scott Negus in that 12th and final transfer spot. Caleb Durgan runs 13th. Michael Deitch runs in 14th. 15th, Zach Postma. Rob Donaldson and Eric Hahn are your 17 cars on the lead lap. Ollie Ferguson there as green flag is back out with a single file start here with 8 laps to go.
8 laps to go. West is out front here as he'll lead them by about a car length and a half down the back straightaway. A little kiss to the outside wall there for Noah. He's able to hold on to it, though. He does fall back a little bit farther. West leads the first lap back to Green Flag Racing. Everybody still single file. Your 12th place driver right now for your race fans is Scott Negus, but he's got Caleb Durgan all over the back end. Here comes the Durgan Dig Performance, number 17, digging down around the bottom side of the speedway. Can Durgan hold it down there, or will Negus be able to find a little bit of momentum in that forward around the outside? Side by side, flames coming out both tailpipes as these drivers let off to try to get that car to turn. And the drag race is now going to be Durgan about a car length out, and now he officially makes the pass. Durgan into the final transfer spot.
Yeah, Durgan into the final transfer spot, having to come from the tail of the field after involvement earlier on in some incidents. Trouble there for Dillon. Durgan's going to get around him, put him into the 11th spot. Now Jeff Dillon on the hot seat in car number 52. Missed what happened there as everyone kind of single filing out. 4 laps to go. Dillon trying to hold on. Can the 55 of Negus get there? That's the battle on the speedway. West, Boucher, James, Lawrence, and Leclerc. Your top 5. Oh,
Sideways.
Negus.
Sideways for the 55 as he got it sideways, trying to get to the back bumper there. The number 52 of Jeff Dillon. Scott now going to fall back to 14th, and he is officially out of contention here tonight unless something happens, as we will get the old popsicle sticks flown up into the air. It'll be 2 more times around the speedway, as now they storm down the back straightaway for Joseph West. He'll be looking for the white silk as he exits turn 4.
The white flag will fly as Boucher sideways. That's going to allow the 13 of James to the back bumper. Take it easy on each other, fellas. You guys have a starting spot in the main event. Off of turn number 4 for the final time in the Hoosier Tire Last Chance qualifier. West is going to pick up the win. Boucher will come home second. James in third. The battle for the transfer spot is going to go to Jeff Dillon. Scott Negus is going to be the first car out with Deitch, Hahn, Postman, Donaldson, and Ferguson. Boris, Patton, Hanson, and Dillon, your 22-car field. As that will do it for tonight's qualifying, Roger. It's all main event racing from here on out. Last quick little shakedown for these drivers coming on up. Takeaways from that last chance qualifier.
Move. I can't say the rest of the Ludacris song, but you know it. Move, get out the way. I gotta lock in to this 100 lap feature event, which is coming up here just a couple of moments. Race fans, as we have a quick second here between the rounds, we gotta thank all of you out there tonight tuning in on the Turn 3 Racing Network, catching this Snowflake 100 that's just about to come up. Let us know who your favorites are here, because, well, Al, we can say we have favorites, but we don't really know who's going to be the guy to go to victory lane here tonight. And you told me your favorite was me, so.
And you didn't even bring the race car, so. Yeah,
Crazy.
It is very crazy. But, yeah, tonight, I think this race, 100 laps, it's going to be who can preserve the tires. There's no additional sets of tires in the pit area. So what you start the race on is what you're going to have to finish the race on. 100 laps around the Five Flags Speedway to crown a winner of the LaPlante Racing Products 100. The Snowflake 100 is next. And you're watching it here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. We thank you for tuning on in, as Roger has said. Hopefully you're enjoying the broadcast. We're enjoying bringing it to you. And we want to thank all the great sponsors of the Snowball Derby. For the American Sim Racing Club, Postma Flooring. If you are in the need for some new flooring needs and live in the Michigan area, make sure you hit up the sponsors. Support those that support the racing here with the American Sim Racing Club and Postma Flooring. You can do that in the greater Lower Michigan area. Give them a call to set up an appointment at 616-818-8980. And how about our presenting sponsor, the LaPlante Racing Products? And Roger, have you checked that out yet? I know you don't have a race car just yet, but just in case, it is the scaphoid wrist injuries are all too common in the racing world and can be seriously reduced with a simple addition to the racing vehicle. The patent steering coupling device developed by LaPlante Racing Products is designed by a driver for drivers of open-wheel race cars. The LaPlante steering coupling device minimizes the impacts from rental collisions that can violently thrash the steering column, leading to injuries. Help support LaPlante Racing Products today by visiting their website and looking up this product at LaPlanteRacingProducts.com, the proud sponsor of the LaPlante Racing Products Snowflake 100. Flagman Graphics is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the best appearing car. Unfortunately, that did not translate into better racing for Mr. Pete Dillon, for Mr. Dillon, but he wins it. He's going to take home $20 thanks to Flagman Graphics for the best appearing car. We thank Flagman Graphics for being a proud sponsor, making the Northeast race cars look phenomenal at the racetrack and graphic designs. Hoosier Racing Tire, the proud sponsor and the only tire ran on the American Sim Racing Club. Hoosier Racing Tire is the largest manufacturer in the world for racing tires. So we thank them for being a great sponsor of the American Sim Racing Club. And Roger, these drivers getting their final shakedown. It looks like we are very so close to heading in to tonight's main events.
Like the field is set, the lights are turned on, the 24 drivers have been called to their cars because we are ready to get this one started here tonight, Al.
We are, and this is your starting lineup. This will be your first 6 rows of their starting on the pole. Car number 44. It'll be the driver of Zach Nichols, and he'll be tough from the pole. Outside of him, the driver out of Woodstock, Georgia, the number 35. This is Hayden Swank. Jaden Kratacci will roll off in spot number 3, and outside of him, the number 05 of Max Hanley. Steve Hoffman will roll off 5th, and to his dancing partner to the outside will be the 97 of Riley Duncan. Brett the Jet Hahn and Andrew Payne will make up row number 4 to ASRC regulars, and starting 9th and 10th will be Landon Atkins and Jackson McLaren in car number 36. Your 11th starter will be Thomas Axum and Jimmy Gawker in car number 2.
Back into the 13th spot out of the last chance qualifier. Car number 15 of Joseph West. To the outside of him, car number 16, Noah Boucher. Back into the 15th spot, then car number 21. That'll be Case James. Then it's Nathan Lawrence back there in car number 23. Starting into the 17th spot here tonight, he will drive the 10-10ths Racing number 33. That'll be Ty Leclerc. And then back, how about this guy? Car number 88 has one of those festive paint schemes. It's green. Car number 88, that is Chuck Darling. Starting back into the 19th spot, that'll be Aiden Murray in car number 72. And then 20th starter here tonight, that'll be Nick Fleury. Fleury in car number 25, starting in 20th. 21st here tonight, getting into the Snowflake 100, car number 28, that'll be Zach Coyer. He will start 21st. Connor Jones in the number 22 will start back in 22nd. That'll be the number 17 of Caleb Durgan. Durgan will start 23rd. And the final starter here tonight out of Maryland in his Pontiac, car number 52. That'll be Jeff Dillon. That's your 24-car starting field here. One driver going to have to, I believe, start from pit road, Al, but everybody else, all 23 on the Speedway 24, will take the green flag.
That they will, and they're being led by Nichols. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is showtime at the Five Flags Speedway. Strap in, grandmother. Keep your dentures in. You got to eat that popcorn. 100 laps of action coming at you in these full-fendered late model, pro late models coming at you. Roger had his Chex Mix in the break. Got his belly full. We are ready to go racing.
Did out with some good looking rides on the front row here. You got yourself your, is that a Cadillac and an Aston Martin? Ready to start this one up. Put 100 laps on the big board here tonight. The Snowflake 100 is green flag racing from the Five Flags Speedway. Here we go to turn number 1 with Nichols and Swank.
Nichols jumps out to the race lead. Swank to the outside, trying to hold it on there as he works through the first corner. Lap number 1 into the books, and Nichols going to lead it. He looks to there. Hayden Swank side by side with a good battle between himself and Jaden Kratacci. Kratacci in the No Chance Motorsports. Him and Nichols are on the same team. They're going to go 1 and 2 as they work down through here. Number 86 working there. That's Hoffman. Hoffman in that car. He's looking there outside, not being too kind to Hayden Swank early on. But don't need to panic. Don't need to push that panic button just yet. Got to try to preserve those tires. But Landon Hanley right there behind them, also going backwards as they work down through the corner. Already 3 laps into the Snowflake 100 presented by LaPlante Racing Products.
Nichols and Kratacci out front. Then it's Hoffman that takes that 3rd position. Hahn, Mr. Jet down to the bottom side, trying to get around Schwank. And, Brett real closely inside, retaining all that time through turns 3 and 4. That outside lane you talked about just not being nice to Hayden. He has dropped all the way back to the 6th position and still no room to get to the bottom because Thomas Axum will now put his number 13 down below him. And then just behind that, that's Max Hanley. He would be the next driver that will go right around the bottom side. It's just a freight train right now here at the Five Flags Speedway. 5 laps officially in the books. We're going to put lap number 6 in the record books here tonight. All have been led by the number 44 of Zach Nichols.
Yeah, we watched the 05 of Hanley. He's working underneath the 35 of Swank. Now Hanley was stuck on the outside behind Swank. Found a hole between Axum and the 93 of Andrew Payne, and they were able to make it work underneath them. One car out, that's Jackson McLaren up on the outside, and the Bubba's Out Broke number 7 podcast. Working the outside there, McLaren, a longtime veteran of the American Sim Racing Club. Good to see him out there. Jimmy Gawker in the 2 as well. He's trying to make it up through here. Everyone trying to get into a rhythm, and it is a jammed up and jelly tight off of turn number 2. West in the 15. He's already moving up. He won the last chance qualifier presented by Hoosier Racing Tires. Is now Axum's up the racetrack. We're trying to go 2x2 as they work here. One car out of shape. I believe that might have been Leclerc. He is falling like a rock.
Yeah, problems a couple laps ago for the number 86 of Stephen Hoffman. He got up the speedway. He was running in the 5th position at the time, and everybody got around him on the bottom side. He is able to funnel back a couple spots. Now he funnels into that 8th position behind Andrew Payne. So Hoffman getting loose, getting up off the bottom, opening the door, everybody walking in. Hayden Schwank did find the bottom of the side of the speedway after a while. He has fallen all the way back to 9th. Joseph West up 3 positions. Remember, he had to come out of that last chance qualifier. He was our winner of the last chance qualifier. He now runs himself into the 10th position here. One driver, I believe, off the pace here. Riley Duncan having some issues in car number 97. He is off the lead lap. Aiden Murray also early here off the lead lap in car number 72.
Yeah, something going awry on Duncan's 97, and that's too bad. That car was fast. As we watch the battle, but Zach Nichols out front and is starting to stretch it over Jaden Kratanchi, but he's got Han, Axum, and Atkins all right there, right behind them as they work through here. Hanley is starting to work his way back up through the field. Your biggest mover of the race so far, though, is Thomas Axum, up 7 positions as he's looking for more as he looks underneath the 71 of Brett Hahn.
A look underneath and see if he can take the spot. Hahn still ripping the 2nd lane. It looks like he'll be able to hold serve. So Hahn holding on to P number 3. Axum will take back his 4th position. Just behind them, side-by-side battle. That's Atkins. Hanley working the inside. Payne back there lurking to see which lane is going to be the one to take. Hanley up the speedway just a little bit through 3 and 4. Almost a little contact there between those 2 drivers. But they will keep it clean. See the tailpipes glowing here tonight at the Five Flags Speedway. We're going to be about 20% into this one in just about 3 laps here tonight. Race leader still Zach Nichols as you still continue to watch the battle here with the 05 of Hanley and Atkins. Atkins there still working the outside. Payne just behind them, still trying to figure out which way he's going to go. Now Atkins will put the power down and pull back in front of that 05 of Max Hanley. He will hold the spot for now.
He holds the spot for now as they all work down through the corners, and Hanley going to ride behind Atkins, and that keeps it there. Jackson McLaren working the outside as he's following the 15 automobile. Right there in front of him, that's Case James trying to make his way up the rankings as he's following West. So the 215s working nose to tail coming from the last chance qualifiers. McLaren in that 7 car runs in 13th. Tyler Leclerc runs in 14th. Nathan Lawrence, everyone kind of single filing it out. Roger, but you see a couple of bumper tags dirking into the back side of the 97 of Nathan Lawrence, and our first yellow flag comes out of the evening after a bumper tag session in turn 1 and 2.
And what a save there by Nathan. He was able to spin that car around, kept it out of the wall, and he's got all those Hershey kisses still wrapped up.
He does. Let's take a look here and see what happened. Up off the corner, and it was already late into that there Roger, but they took and were bouncing off each other's front nose buttons there, and that was all it took. But I believe Aiden Murray gonna get his lap back, get the free pass.
Hey, he's got Buc-ee's on the back of that number 72. You ever been there?
I have
They
not.
don't have those in New York.
I have not yet, but maybe someday soon. Our
Well, you can come down here to Pennsylvania again. We got one that's just across the border.
Well, I will be coming to Pennsylvania, Roger, in the month of February, headed to Motorama for those in
That's
the
for my
local
birthday.
area. Are you coming to see me?
You know I'll be there. I got to get my milkshake.
Oh my God, yes.
I got a buddy coming down. He wants to talk to you about some RC cars. So
Nice.
we're bringing a crew for you. Put your salesman hat on.
All right, that we can do. It'd be good to see you. Are you gonna go half and half this year, or are you gonna go vanilla or chocolate?
Vanilla all day.
I like the half and half. I don't know why, but enough of that. You're making me hungry.
Yeah, can't miss. I know it's almost midnight here on the East Coast, Al.
I know. But it is the 44 of Zach Nichols up on the front of this one. Jaden Kratacci running in spot number 2. As the flights will go out, Field going to double them up.
Thomas Axum, your biggest mover so far here in the early stages of this one. 20 laps in the books here, Al. Not too many. Still a lot of racing left.
Oh, just about a quarter of the way down with the LaPlante Racing Products Snowflake 100 into the LaPlante Racing Products restart zone. Green flag is up. We're back underway, and a good start to the inside by Nichols, and Kratacci get a good launch. He'll jump down to the inside, able to hold it 2 by 2. Behind them is Axum, and Hahn. Is Axum going to use the outside to take the 3rd spot away from Brett Hahn?
Said you can't go to the outside and make a pass. Days of Thunder. Here comes Thomas Axum from the outside to the inside. He'll go now to the inside of Jaden Kratacci to see if he can take the 2nd spot away. He will not be able to do it. Jaden able to hold his foot down on the floorboard. He pulls back into that 2nd spot, but now Hahn under attack once again. Max Hanley going to the outside of him again. Could this be the 2nd time Brett has lost a position to a driver here in the early stages? Going to the outside.
Working the outside, Hanley is. Hahn works the inside, but that run to the outside by Hanley, and outside starting to, well, we got a big mess here on the front stretch. Durgan around. And somehow everybody going to make it through it with not too much damage to the 17 car.
Take a look at the 7 car there, Al. Jackson McLaren tore up. He will pull to the inside. He will take the virtual hook back to pit road.
Let's take a look here and see. Oh, he got hooked to the outside in heavy contact. I believe maybe that was... I'm not sure the car there is the 17 of Durgan, just innocent bystander there. See if we get a better vantage point of this as McLaren was working the outside. Oh, and it was the 15 automobile
James.
of James. He thought that McLaren was there trying to break in to steal his toys. This ran out of real estate off turn number 4, and that's common here. That the outside of turn number 4 really closes up really quick, kind of turns into a funnel, and how that wasn't any bigger is beyond me, as your race leader continues to be Zach Nichols.
Drivers taking this opportunity to come down pit road. Looks like Durgan is down on pit road. It also looks like Chase James is down, but he will get back out onto the racetrack as the Home Alone number 15 will rejoin the racing surface. He's being scored back into the 20th spot currently here as we work the 2nd caution flag of the evening here from the Five Flags Speedway. Al, you called it. It's still going to be the number 44 of Zach Nichols leading the way so far.
How about that last restart, though? The driver right there with the Bernie's Liquor number 13, the RKM entry, that would be Thomas Axum, made the outside work and then really almost had to move on Kratacci. Finds himself
from the outside to the inside. He pulled one of those, well, one of the best moves I've seen so far here tonight. Just was not able to complete the 2nd half of it, but now he'll restart to the inside lane. Brett Hahn will start to the outside. Brett has now seen what Thomas was able to do on that last restart. Can Brett now make it work for himself?
I mean, Hanley made it outside work as well. So I think we're starting to get to that point of the evening where we're gonna start seeing our second and third groups come into play. But right now, into the restart zone they come, and the green flag back out. Nichols with a good launch over Kratacci, and I think a little bit of working with each other right there as the 44. Nichols chose the outside, and Kratacci lets him down in front. They work 2 by 2. The 11 up on the outside. That's Atkins as he's going the wrong direction. As Hanley now takes the 5th spot away in car number 05. Gawker in the 2 working to the inside. Can he make something happen in that number 2 car? A little bit of contact
that time. Gawker and Atkins there running side by side. They're running for the 6th and the 7th position. Andrew Payne just behind them in the number 93. See if he can kind of get down there as Gawker is able to make the move. The 11 back to the bottom, just not going to be able to go anywhere. He will hold that position. Hayden Schwank is right there, and Stephen Hoffman rounding out the top 10 currently here. It'll be 30 laps in the books next time by. Once we get back around here, everybody has got themselves in single file mode, trying to log some laps here, save the tires, save the equipment for a late race charge.
Remember, Hayden Swank started up in the front, on the front row, finds himself in the 9th spot after being stuck to the outside early on in this race. 35 going to methodically work his way up through the field, a little bit deeper side by side. I believe that was Nathan Lawrence and Chuck Darling as they work around the 72. As they work there, Zach Coyer as well, the 72 of Lawrence, or that's not Lawrence. That's Aiden Murray, and he's down a lap to these drivers, trying to get that lap back to 72. Remember, he had to saw a starter issue, had to get pushed off of pit road. Now finds, hang on, Nick Fleury hard into the outside wall.
Fleury going for a ride off the front bumper of the Hershey Kisses number 87. And I believe that looks better than his last car.
Yeah.
Still has a hood.
Yeah,
but it's bellowing smoke.
It's taking care of the mosquitoes.
That's a big problem down here.
Tough break for Nick Fleury. We'll have to take the 25, the pit road. Let's take a look back at this one. Working there, the 97 right there behind them. Just got loose there and then up the racetrack and just could not stay off of him. And a tough break for the 25 of Nick Fleury. So Fleury will sit on pit road. The crew will go to work. I believe that's going to be an extensive stay on pit road, though.
Yeah, it's not one that looks like it's going to be coming back for a strong finish here tonight. Have to see. He'll have to sit by here and wait to see if he gets one of those provisionals into the big show tomorrow night right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Al, you'll be back behind the buttons. I'll be, well, I guess eating Mom's Chex Mix here with you.
All right. You going to share it tomorrow night?
No.
Okay. I'll bring my popcorn then.
As my 2-year-old would say, no.
No. They do like to say that. I got a 3-year-old that says that.
Well, hey, it doesn't get any better. Ask my 7-year-old. They still say no.
So the field working behind the pace truck here in the LaPlante Racing Products Snowflake 100. We're proud to bring you here all the Snowball Derby for the American Sim Racing Club. Thank you for being a part of it. Hopefully you're enjoying tonight's broadcast as we started off tonight with the Snowball Derby qualifying. Locked in the 30 cars that'll start tomorrow night's 300-lap main event. I am looking forward to that one as the lights go out around, but we must finish the Snowflake 100. Nichols going to strike the outside on this restart. And looking here.
Well, teamwork last time out. You expect to see it on this restart.
I would assume so. We're not to the point where it's an eye for an eye. as they roll into the restart zone. Green flag back up, and we are back underway.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee for Zach Nichols in his Cadillac, leading that Toyota. But here comes Thomas Axum. He is the driver that has picked up the most spots so far. 8 spots net gain for Thomas Axum, and he's all over the back end of Jaden Kurtachi as we complete lap number 34 here tonight. And one driver stuck up to the outside lane. Now that is the number 71 of Brett the Jet Hahn. What can Brett do here? He's seen a couple times. He's lost spots with drivers going to the outside. Just does not look like he has it just yet figured out, as that is 0-5 of Max Hanley. Hanley inching ahead. Can Brett pull some of that momentum off the top side, though? If he's not able to, a lot of drivers lined up down around the bottom. He'll slide turns 3 and 4. He'll lose that spot fully now to Max Hanley, and he'll have Jimmy Gawker, and it does not look like he'll be able to hold him off. Maybe now he'll be able to get down to the bottom. Maybe a little friendly, hey, go ahead and bring that number 71 down there by Andrew Payne. Hahn will find a spot back into P number 6.
Hahn in the 6th spot, right in front of his teammate, the 93 of Andrew Payne, is now up there. Gawker up the racetrack as he works trying there. Hanley trying to make a move, is now Axum putting the pressure to the inside of Kurtachi. Battle for the number 2 spot in the turn number 1. The Kurtachi gonna slam the door shut. Someone check the forehead of Axum. Off of turn number 2. They will work in the 3. Single file it back out. Axum trying to get there as Connor Jones is in trouble. We stay green so far, working lap 39 into the books. Lap 40 as they work off of turn 2 and head into turn number 3. Oh, one car hard on the outside wall. That was Adkins. That's going to allow the 35 of Swank. Swank takes a look to the inside. Can't quite do anything with him that time.
A single file it back out, but that could have been problems for Atkins as he's running right around the 8th position right now, and everybody lined up. You got to go deep into the field all the way to the 16th position right now. That is Darling and Dillon that are side by side, 2 veterans here of the series, especially short track racing through our country. These are 2 drivers that spend their weekends at the short tracks. They are right now battling here tonight at the virtual Five Flags Speedway in the Snowflake 100. And Darling looks like he might lose that spot. There goes the old Pontiac of Jeff Dillon. It's still got a couple years left in that old Pontiac.
Dillon trying to make his way up through there and wait in front of him. Durgan, he's working underneath Boucher. Boucher coming from the last chance qualifier as well, as he's got Durgan right to the back bumper. A little bit of a bumper tag that times through 1 and 2. Nothing, no harm, no foul is the battle for Durgan right to the back bumper once again. Durgan finds himself in the 14th spot after starting 23rd as we close in on the halfway point of the Snowflake 100. Right behind them, 13 Accoyer, as you were just talking about. Jeff Dillon runs in 16th.
Up front, still going to be Zach Nichols. He has about 3 car lengths over Jaden Kurtachi, who's holding off Axum, Hanley, Gawker, Hahn, Payne, Atkins, Swank, and Hoffman. That's the top 10 here as we approach that halfway home portion of this event. Seeing who's got the long run car at this point. This is the longest run we have had all night long here at the Five Flags Speedway. These drivers working into it. They know what kind of piece of machinery they have here tonight. Who's going to be able to go to the outside? Who's not going to be able to go to the outside? Right now, though, there is Hoffman to the outside. Here comes Leclerc. He's down to the bottom side of that number 33. They're battling for that 10th position. Hoffman has it. Ty wants it in that black and red number 33. He'll roll the bottom side, and as he does that, Joseph West also closing in on this group, seeing if he can sneak a spot.
Trying to do so. West from the last chance qualifier trying to crack inside the top 10 as he watches the battle between Hoffman and Leclerc. Leclerc working the inside right behind them. Boucher and Durgan still a rage war. A little bit of notes there as Riley Duncan has taken the 97 behind the wall. We'll see him in action tomorrow night in the Snowball Derby. This was not meant to be here tonight, but up front, things starting to get a little there is Hanley look underneath Gawker. Gawker will slam the door shut. Here comes Hahn starting to roll that outside. We're going to start to see maybe the track getting enough heat in there where the second groove is going to come in. Hahn on the attack, but is it a little too early to save those tires? The outside going to cheese grater him. Axum taking a look up there, seeing if there's any grip on the Cretaci, if he can get him pinned down. Axum with a move to the outside. He's going to draw even in 3 and 4.
Touching the outside wall that time down the back straightaway, but Axum saw Hahn go up there. Axum went up there, and now he has a run on that number 11 there, and down the back straightaway they go. It is now going to be Thomas Axum rolling into P number 2, getting around Jaden Krataki. Gawkert's still there. Brett Hahn is around the 0-5 now of Max Haley. So put Hahn now into P number 5, the outside work, and look at Gawkert go up there to block that 71.
That put Hahn into that upper third groove, and I'm not quite sure it is there yet. Hahn trying to do the crossover move. One car coming down pit road. That's Case James in the home improvement number 2, or the home alone number 2, not home improvement. As we watch the 71 of Hahn, he's still right there. Gawker to the back bumper of Cretaci. And Andrew Payne, look at all the way up in that third groove, going to lose some ground off of turn number 4. Got to give the effort, but you're starting to see the marbles in this long run starting to pick up on the outside of the racetrack. And you get up into that stuff, Roger, that's like driving on the black ice that we have to deal here in the Northeast.
Black ice, you can call it snow. It's the Snowflake 100 here tonight for these drivers. Zach Nichols still out front, and he is loving what he is seeing because, well, he's got almost a second and a half over Thomas Axum. And then it's this battle that you're watching. Here comes the Jet rolling the outside. He has it worked in. Cretaci just behind him trying to roll that out. Called it the middle. Now he's going to scoot up there. See if he can hold on to that. Oh, he's going to get turned.
Hanley goes around Cretaci, going to come to a stop, and whew, that was close. As the yellow flag will come out for the 4th time here. As Cretaci was up front, finds himself at the back now.
Problems for the 0-5 of Hanley. The left front is facing in the wrong direction. He'll have to come to pit road.
Yeah, let's take a look back here and see as the 0-5 comes down. They were side by side. Oh, right there, and contact with Andrew Payne. And that's where the left front damage came on Hanley's car. Let's watch again as they went in the corner side by side there. Hanley just overdrove the entry to turn 3. Got on the back side of Cretaci. But I believe the 0-5 has a broken tie rod or toe link on that 0-5. That's going to require some extensive time here on pit road.
Yeah, unfortunate for those drivers running inside the top 5 at the time of that. One driver went around there. That was Jaden Cretaci. He is actually going to be able to stay out. Not too much damage done to the number 11 for Jaden, as he's just going to have to make up a lot of spots here. He's going to restart right around the 17th position.
Max Hanley.
I guess you found somebody to watch.
Yeah, Max Hanley back out on the racetrack. That left front, though, not sure it's supposed to be facing the way it's facing.
It's just looking at you.
Okay. Zach Nichols, though, out front as we look at the race recap so far as they work lap 62. Thomas, your race leader, is not Thomas Axum, is Zach Nichols is your race leader. We've had 4 cautions for 16 laps with 2 lead changes. I believe Zach Nichols has led every lap so far.
Yeah, that lead change was a caution lead change.
Nichols choosing the outside.
Yeah, Nichols, and yeah, I was wondering, Nichols has started on that outside every time, but he's had Jaden Cretaci right there as we are able to fire this one off, and Nichols will retain the race lead. So it'll be Nichols, Axum, Hahn, holding down the third spot, but here comes Gawker to the outside of that number 71.
Gawker working the outside of Brett Hahn here as they work through the corner. And contact between the 93 of Payne and the 11 of Atkins. Everybody keeps it pointing in the right direction. Top 4 cars get single file. Now Payne to the 5th spot, but he was sideways. That allows Atkins to draw back even. Leclerc, Hayden Swank, and Joe West. They're in the 9th spot. They are all playing bumper tag. They keep it pointed in the right direction. Is right now 18 out of the 24 cars still on the racetrack and on the lead lap. So all you got to do is be in it to win it. Caleb Durgan, though, cracking the top 10, Roger. He had to start deep in the 23rd position, finding himself now cracking the top 10 for the first time this evening.
Coming out of that last chance qualifier, up 13 spots here tonight in our feature event. Had to start that last row, just barely making it in, I'd say by one of my hairs off the top of my head. Well, now they don't exactly exist either.
Well, it was that close.
Yeah, well, hey. Going up the track, though, Atkins got himself a little out of the groove up the track. Here's Payne still down to the inside. Ty right on the back bumper. And how about Hayden Schwank? Schwank starting inside the top 5 here tonight, falling just on the border there of falling out of the top 10. He's still continuing to run right around that 8th position.
Schwank, one of those wily veterans, though, where a lot of short track laps for that 35 car. Biding his time, trying to make some moves, but he's got a fast number 17 of Durgan. Gotta wonder, has Durgan used the tires a little bit too hard here as we close in on the later stages of this event? At the line, they cross the line, lap 67 of 100 as they work here. They're 2x2 in front of them. Payne working the inside of the tire. Leclerc working the outside. He tries to get a run on Atkins. Atkins kisses the concrete down the back stretch. These drivers are busier than Santa Claus himself on Christmas Eve as they work here. Leclerc from the upstairs to the inside. He took the chimney down low, trying to make a move on Atkins. Leclerc trying to make it into the top 5 as he works underneath the 11 of Atkins as he watches Gawker and the group sail away. Thomas Axum, though, up front, keeping it close tabs on Nichols as we watch the battle for the 5th spot.
Yeah, this is the best battle on the speedway here as we come to complete lap number 69. Sideways for Atkins. Gives up a couple car lengths there. Now it's going to be Ty Leclerc. Does he just kind of funnel himself up the speedway and see if he can try to run away, pitting that number 11 back behind him? He does not. Now this time it seems like the 33 has great drive off the corner. Sideways again for Atkins. Now he'll fall back, and no, he'll give the number 33 a little bit of a love tap down into the corner. Holds on to it, but everybody goes single file as one driver out of line. Now that's going to be the number 86 of Stephen Hoffman. Hoffman. That is back there in the 11th position.
West working to the outside of him, and look at Jeff Dillon in that 52 car. He's working the outside of the speedway as he tries to make his way towards the front of the Dillon Motorsports. Washington Capitals on that car. You a hockey fan, Roger?
What's hockey?
All right, good conversation there. As we watch that battle, the 52 of Dillon working to the inside. Kratacci starting to make his way back towards the front. You see him right there behind Zach Coyer, that 11 car. Meanwhile, up front, Caleb Durgan is underneath Atkins. They're going to try to go 3 wide as Durgan took a look to the inside of Andrew Payne. Using the front bumper a little bit through turns 3 and 4. Atkins' car starting to slide that rear end around. These drivers, not much they can change, but they can change their brake bias. And early into this race, you can see those rear rotors glowing. They continue to glow on these race cars.
And now that Durgan has moved around him, Durgan is into 7th, up 16 spots. 3 drivers here tonight in double digits. Ty Leclerc, Caleb Durgan, and Jeff Dillon. Dillon back there running in the 12th spot, picking up 12 positions. Durgan's picked up 16, and Ty has picked up 12 himself. So those are the 3 drivers that have, well, done a lot of passing here tonight, finding where their machines work the best. Battle right now is for that 9th position. There is Joseph West. He's to the inside of Atkins. Atkins just cannot get that car back underneath him. Once the tires get hot here, Al, and they get the marbles on them, it is very hard. You also see some damage on the front left-hand side of that number 11 for Atkins, who is now fallen outside the top 10.
Yeah, Atkins' car is very unhappy right now. The best thing he can do with 22 laps to go is get in line, take it easy on those tires, as he's going to be on attack. How about Kurtachi? He's swinging to the outside. He's trying to make it back into the conversation, as Axum is still keeping Nichols at bay 0.2 of a second up at the front of this one, between 2 heavyweights, and Brett Hahn in 3rd, trying to stay there on the podium as they come to 20 laps to go in the Snowflake 100% by LaPlante Racing Products.
20 laps, 10 miles. That's what it's going to take here at the Five Flags Speedway to pick up this 100-lap feature event for the Snowflake 100 here, as it has been all Nichols, but Axum is there. Hahn is starting to really reel into this picture also. It is a 3-car breakaway from the rest of the field. Got Jimmy Gockard, he's right there, maybe call it 6 car lengths back off the back end of that number 71 of Brett the Jet Hahn. But man, you got battles all over the place. Still got battles back here at the 13th and 14th position for Coyer and Dillon. These guys are side by side. It's not just the drivers at the front of the field that are battling hard. It's way back here. I say way back here. It's really only 13th and 14th position, respectively, on the speedway. And Al, I don't know if you got it, but the 05 of Max Haley is still looking at you and still out there making laps.
Yeah, he's picked up a couple spots here as he's working the outside, so obviously not hurt too bad performance-wise, even though it can't be fun to be driving that way. He works up there behind the 97 of Nathan Lawrence. Lawrence is working around Coyer, the 05 of Hanley. Right there. Oh, and into the back bumper of Lawrence, and around he will go, and the yellow flag will come out.
It clipped 360 for the Hershey Kiss machine. Nathan able to actually point that right back into the right direction. He'll hammer back into it. He'll hold the 17th position.
They were on that right there when that was going down. Let's take another look at it. They were racing for position. Dillon was right there in front of him, and I think he just had to check up when that happened. So, see what happened there once again. This is kind of an accordion effect. Kind of what all of our accidents have been this year, or tonight, has just been kind of an accordion effect.
Yeah, that'll happen out here on these big races, that accordion effect. These short tracks, they really do. I mean, you're on this long run, you're on older tires at this point. Maybe somebody was saving when you were burning them up. You're not able to get back to the throttle right away as the guy behind you, and things like that are going to happen. All drivers involved in that accident will be able to carry on here tonight, so nobody having to go pit side, nobody going to the garage. We stay with them out there. Drivers, though, that are down on pit road or have exited tonight's race, it looks like Case James, 19th position here tonight. Aiden Murray, 20th. Connor Jones, 21st. Nick Fleury back there in 22nd. Riley Duncan, 23rd. And Jackson McLaren. Those drivers all here tonight. Looks like they're going to have to load up and try again next year.
That they will, some of those drivers will come back tomorrow night for the 300 lap, 30 cars, $500 purse. A lot of money on the line tomorrow night. Roger, we should have put a car together.
We could have put a car together. It doesn't mean we would have made the field. This field, not only here in the Snowflake 100, but the Snowball Derby 300 tomorrow, the field it's stacked from top to bottom. Anybody can win it. All you have to do is make it into the dance, and that would have been the hard part for us.
We could have put someone with a bit of talent in the car. I'm not saying
Are you saying
that I'm not. We would have been where we're at.
Well, I could have been on the infield.
You could, well, into the restart zone, a cat and mouse game. Green flag back up. We're back on our way. Gawker was ready to go. He's going to catapult into the number 3 spot, and he's not done yet. Jimmy Gawker working the outside of Thomas Axum off of turn number 2 down the backstretch. Axum fires back in the turn number 3. Nichols out front, liking what he can see, when he's got 14 laps to go. As the Snowflake 100 is starting to melt down to the final laps of this one. Gawker says it's time to go as he moves into the spot number 2.
It's a fast number 2 working the outside. What does Zach Nichols do? Because, boy, you got one knocking on your back door. It's blue, and it has a number 2 on the side. Jimmy Gawker is there. Does he try to go to the bottom side in 3? He does not. He still hangs at 10 to the outside there. Jimmy Gawker trying to take down the top spot of Zach Nichols. Everybody inside the top 10 has gone single file racing here. As Al, take a look at the laps. We're closing in on that 10 to go.
Yeah, a couple laps. Barney will give them the high 5s times 2 with 10 laps to go as they cross the line. 11 to go is Gawker really putting the pressure to Zach Nichols. You got to wonder, did Gawker just sit there ride? He's methodically moved up 10 spots from his 12th starting spot, trying to make his way into the race lead as they go into turns 1 and 2. 10 laps to go, Roger, as the Snowflake 100 is quickly winding down.
You said 10 to go this time off turn number 4. It'll be just 9 more times around. Nichols, Gawker, Axum, Hahn, Leclerc. That's the top 5 drivers here as we close in on the end of this one. Gawker got there, but he hasn't been able to do anything with Nichols. Nichols, how hard did he push that number 44, that Cadillac? Because at one point he had a 2-second race lead here this evening as he wraps the bottom side. It looked like the car wanted to rotate that right rear, a little over rotating. It kind of bit, stuck, and went, but how many times can he do that? As you see that time into the middle of 3 and 4, that 44 Al starting to get loose.
Starting to get loose now. Gawker down to the inside as the 44 goes up the racetrack looking for some grip. Gawker to the inside. Can he make something happen? Can't this time in the turns 3 and 4. 44 Nichols letting the inside be open, but that car starting to get free off of the corner with 6 laps to go. Gawker is there knocking on the back bumper capper down the back stretch into turn number 3. Gawker trying to make the move on the number 2. Goes up high and swings it down low. Good exit for Nichols. 5 to go in the Snowflake 100.
That's right, Barney the flagman throwing 5 fingers in the air, waving at him as they came by. Who will pick it up? It is already going to be another lap off, so it'll be 4 laps remaining here tonight at the 5 Flag Speedway. As one driver taking a peek to the inside back there, that was the 33. Ty looking to try and get around Brett Hahn. Hahn's car looking a little tight that time, entering turn 1 and 2. That 33 trying to just pick up a couple spots late here, this time by 3 laps to go. Doing it for Dale.
Doing it for Dale in the turns 1 and 2, and Axum starting to close back in on Gawker's Nichols car, starting to come to life a little bit, maybe a long race car, but the number 2 right there, he could give him the tap with a bumper. 2 to go. The popsicle sticks are up for Zach Nichols, who's led it since the green flag has flown.
Side of 1 and 2, he'll extend the race lead by 1 car length now down the back straightaway over Jimmy Gawker. This time out of turn number 4, they are looking for the white silk. 1 lap to go here tonight at 5 Flags.
White flag is out for the number 2 car as they work off the corner. Nichols showing the way as they work down into the corner off of turn number 4. One last ditch effort from Gawker. Checkered is up, and Zach Nichols is going to win the LaPlante Products Snowflake 100. Jimmy Gawker will come home second. Third will go to Thomas Axum. Brett Hahn fourth. And unofficially rounding out your top 5 will be the 33 of Ty Leclerc. How about Caleb Durgan up 16 spots to finish in spot number 7 as your race winner comes down on the front stretch. Zach Nichols in the caddy, gonna take home the win here at the Five Flags Speedway in the American Sim Racing Club's Snowflake 100, presented by LaPlante Racing Products.
Great run there to the finish, Al, but I mean, don't take it from us, right? We got these drivers. We're going to talk to them in just a couple of moments as Zach Nichols picks up the win. Jimmy Gockert, Thomas Axon, Brett Hahn, and Ty Leclerc. That's your top 5 unofficially here from the Five Flags Speedway race fans. This was a good one. This is just setting us up for tomorrow night.
Yeah, tomorrow night going to be even a bigger show, 300 laps. But Roger, we're going to take a quick break here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. But when you come back, we'll be in our post-race show, and we'll be down trackside with tonight's winner. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Turn 3 Racing Network as we just wrapped up the LaPlante Racing Products Snowflake 100 presented by LaPlante Racing Products, and we are down trackside in the LaPlante Victory Lane with our winner of the Snowflake 100, leading all 100 laps here tonight, Mr. Zach Nichols. Man, a busy night. You got Derby qualifying in earlier. Come in here with a Snowflake. You lead every lap, set fast time. A good start looking at tomorrow. But let's talk about tonight. A good run by this 44 team. And you had to hold off some hard-charging cars behind you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, first off, I'd like to shout out Ron, his grumpy old butt. Didn't race today because it was too late. But yeah, I mean, this race was pretty fun. We qualified on pole, and we just kind of try to maintain a pace that I thought was pretty comfortable. But late towards the end of that race, I started getting really tight. So I think we pushed a little too hard at the beginning, but ultimately we got it done.
Got it done there. What did you learn tonight in this 100 lap? It's a third of what you're going to have to run tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, a long race. Did you learn anything that you can take forward to the move that's going to keep it, keep you in contention tomorrow night?
Oh yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, the outside's kind of where you want to be on restarts, it seemed. I saw Jimmy kind of got around Axum there at the end and was able to get P2 there. So yeah, I think the outside's gonna kind of where you're gonna want to be on these restarts. So take that into tomorrow and let's see what we can do.
Now we saw you choose that outside. Here, these pro lates have a little less horsepowers to help keep the momentum up, or pin someone down on the inside. That seemed to, will we see that same type of scenario maybe come into play with the higher horsepower super late models?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, like you said, just like the pinching down and keeping the momentum up on the top side really played a factor in on the restarts, and yeah, we'll take it in tomorrow and see if it works over there.
Well, Jimmy really put the pressure to you at the end of this when we saw your car starting to step out a little bit. Were you nervous if he tried to get to that outside that you would have been in trouble?
I mean, a little bit, yeah. He was able to keep the fronts on it really well. I don't know how he was able to do it, but I was getting really tight towards the end there, and he looked like he could turn pretty well. So we'll put that in the memory bank for tomorrow, and hopefully we can do a little bit better on tires tomorrow.
All right, sir. Well, it's a pleasure talking to you once again. It's been a little bit of a hot minute since we've been able to talk, but we are going to take and roll out that red carpet. We know you got some sponsors here that you'd like to thank on this 44 car that make it all possible for you to win the LaPlante Racing Products 100 Snowflake.
Yeah, I'd like to thank RSS Mobile Trailer Repair, Kearney's Complete Auto Service, PSS&C, R&M Towing, my dad, my Uncle Kenny, they're watching. I'd like to shout both them out. You guys for broadcast, you guys do a great job. Roger, it's been a minute since I've seen you up here, so I'd like to shout you out, and all the league admins for putting this whole deal on. It's a ton of fun to come out each week and put on a show.
All right, that's your race winner tonight, the driver of the 44, Zach Nichols. You catch him in action tomorrow night right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network for the Post Floor Snowball Derby. Zach, enjoy this one. Get some rest. It's going to be a busy night tomorrow night.
Yeah, thank you. You too.
All right, Zach Nichols, your Snowflake 100 feature event winner. Roger, I believe you are sitting down on the front stretch with a driver that went double digits forward here tonight.
I don't know about sitting down, Al. We're still standing up here, and we are getting ready to talk with Jimmy Gockert. He's the driver that will pick up 10 positions here tonight. One of the drivers that have, well, one of the only drivers that actually picked up double digits. Jimmy, how did this car run here tonight? Because 10 positions gained on one of these tough tracks. It seemed to be like a track that didn't take a lot of positions or give a lot of positions early.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just track position was really huge, and just trying to save the right rear as much as possible for the longer run here, especially on older tires. And didn't qualify too high. Qualified in the last transfer spot in 12th, and just made my way to the field nice and easily. And I knew I couldn't qualify well, but I knew if we kept the car clean, had no damage, we'd be up here at the front here towards the end.
You were up here at the end, that's for sure. You were one of the first drivers to go to the outside and make a couple passes. How hard was it, or when did you make that decision, I should say, to go to the outside?
I think it was probably about early in the race. I had to be like about 20, lap 25. I got behind a couple guys on a restart, and they were just very slow and just not going to the pace that I wanted to go. And I just jumped to the outside, and it stuck in a hold, and just and then that one, I think it was off another restart, I cleared the 93 of Andrew Payne. I got underneath the 11 there of Atkins there to gain a couple more spots there.
Late in this one, you ran down the 44 of Zach Nichols out there. What did you have? What did you need to pick up the win here?
I just feel like I just shouldn't have spun my tires off the corner. I think off turn 4th, with maybe about 5 or 4 to go, I spun him off the corner a little bit, and he got away. And he said he was getting a little tight. I tried to get to the inside and see what I could do, but he's had just the run off there on the top. And I was maybe if I had a couple more laps, get to the outside and try to do something there, but just didn't have enough time.
You almost made it. 10 spots gained here tonight, Jimmy. It's going to give you a good idea for tomorrow night. So what do you say we let you get out of here? We let you get some rest. But before we do that, who do you got to thank here for a beautiful number 2?
First and foremost, got to thank you guys for broadcasting, and Tanner and all the sponsors involved here. Having us a little snowball and snowflake this weekend is pretty cool. I got to thank all my sponsors, Hoosier Race Tire, Meyer, Deck Enterprise, Fricker's Mint, Hoax Graphics, Nichols Designs, Port City Race Cars, No Chance Motorsports, Jimmy Gockert Racing, and our new sponsor for this season, W. And also my mom and my sister and my beautiful girlfriend, Ty.
Well, you're lucky you got them all in there, because you don't want them coming back at you, Jimmy, and putting the bad juju on you for tomorrow. Hey, congratulations and a great run here tonight.
Yep, of course. Thank you.
There you have it, Al. He finishes P number 2 here tonight. It matches the side door panel on that car. 1 spot out of the top prize.
That he did, and a congratulations run to the number 2 of Jimmy Gogger. And our third place driver, the driver of this number 13, will come home. Like we said, in third, that will be the driver of Thomas Axum. And we talk to Thomas now. He's sitting here looking at the car thinking, all right, what do we got to do a little bit better for tomorrow night? But, hey, third place, you went forward in the Snowflake, and the racing looked pretty fierce up at the front there. What else did you need out of this race car to get around that 44?
Just better qualifying. I just screwed myself on the start there and starting 11th, and it's a disadvantage when the leader gets to just ride, set the pace, opposed to I tried to get up there as soon as I could. But nonetheless, it was a fun race. Haven't sim raced in 2 years. The last race I ran on iRacing was the Snowball Derby that I won. So definitely good momentum heading into it.
Because I know you're not no slouch to get around this Five Flags Speedway. And tomorrow night in the show, looking forward to that 300 laps. A lot different of an event than what we saw here tonight. Can you really take anything from tonight and pass it forward in your racing program towards tomorrow?
Yeah, all experience is good experience. It stinks having to restart against like 4 guys that are all like talking to each other, communicating. I used to be good enough where it didn't affect me, but now I'm not as good as I used to be. So just got to be better on the restarts because it's just me out there. But I think I can hold it down, take some notes from tonight, and the more power, the long run should play in my hand a little better.
Well, third place finish here tonight. Nothing to shake a stick at. It's been a long night of racing between Derby qualifying and then the Snowflake 100 here. It was awesome that one restart. It went from the outside to inside. Got yourself into second. Did you expect the grip level to be that way on that restart?
I just was sending it. I was angling, having fun, a lot of respect up front. Everyone giving each other room. Of course, you have to pinch to pass, but that's iRacing, and you know who you can race with, and a lot of them guys up front race with each other every week. So, I mean, there's just a mutual respect where you can hold this lane, I'll hold this lane, and we can put a show on. So, yeah, just out there angling. I had so much fun. I had the boss man, Ryan Kuhn, on the box. He said, hey, throw it to the top. I threw it to the top and rolled the outside. I mean, never in my dreams did I think that would work on iRacing, but being off the game for 2 years, coming back last week, and trying to put some momentum into it, that was just a lot of fun. Outside, inside, all grooves are raceable when there's respectful racing going on.
Absolutely, and having Ryan up on top of the box there, never bad to have that in your corner as well. But hey, not bad for taking a couple years off, grabbing the helmet and coming back out and racing with the American Sim Racing Club. It's always a pleasure to see you on the sim and out there racing, putting on a show, like you said. Man, it's been a great night. You coming home third, going to take some money back home, and we look forward to tomorrow night's event. What are you expecting out of tomorrow night?
Starting 4th tomorrow, so just long race, gonna just try and keep it clean, and top groove, bottom groove, I think whatever it is, we just have to set a pace and really ride. But yeah, I mean, just a shout out to the boss man, Ryan Kuhn. He was a big factor in tonight. My goal was to finish top 3 because I needed one of these interviews. It's been a couple years. I wanted to shake the rust off. So just a huge shout out to Ryan Kuhn for making that happen. Tanner Tallarico for putting this whole shindig on. This is a lot of fun. There's 40 guys out here on a Friday night having fun racing. So shout out to Tanner Tallarico, you guys up in the booth. My best friend Noah Leach for sponsoring me. He gave me a new computer, and last but not least, my mother and my grandfather.
All right, Thomas. Well, congratulations on a third place finish here tonight in the LaPlante Racing Products Snowflake 100. Hopefully a couple spots better tomorrow night. We'll be watching the best of luck. Get some sleep, and we'll see you back here at the Five Flags Speedway tomorrow night.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right, Thomas Axum going to come home in P number 3, and that will do it for the LaPlante Racing Products post-race show. And Roger, it's all done. These drivers are going to go back. They're going to polish those cars tomorrow night or tomorrow during the day, get those final checklists done as we get ready to go racing for 300 laps in the Postma Floor Snowball Derby here at the Pensacola Florida, Five Flags Speedway. But closing remarks from tonight's Snowflake. I think it was an amazing race.
It was great. It was good. I feel like SpongeBob. I'm ready. I'm ready. For tomorrow night. 300 laps, race fans. If you thought 100 was fun here tonight, 75 was fun for that last chance qualifier for tomorrow's big race. You got something coming tomorrow. Right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Al's back behind the buttons. I'm back here just slinging jokes and eating Chex Mix, as he says. But hey, we look forward to seeing you all tomorrow night.
Absolutely. We want to thank you all for tuning on in here tonight to the LaPlante Racing Products Snowflake 100. We thank you for being a proud member of our broadcast. I want to thank Roger for helping out as well for tonight and tomorrow. We also want to thank Postma Flooring, Hoosier Racing Tires, LaPlante Racing Products, and Flagman Graphics, all making this show possible. And, of course, you, the viewer, and the racers for putting on a great show to give us something good to talk about. But until tomorrow night, have fun. Keep it safe in the RV centers, and we'll see you in Turn 3. Good night, everybody.